Okay, thanks everyone so much for coming. I appreciate you being here today and really glad the time aligned. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Alex. I know I invited a couple of you all for tonight's overview of Arbonne. And so again, super excited that you're here. So I just want to open it up by telling you just a little bit about what we're going to cover. And so for some of you, I know you are maybe Arbonne clients and or you've used a couple of the products before. Some of you are brand new, don't really know what Arbonne is, and maybe we actually just met and I just invited you to this call and you said, sure, that sounds great. So whoever you are, whichever one aligns with you, just we'll talk a little bit more about about Arbonne, like what they stand for, them as a brand, the products, and also just the business opportunity that's really tied to this amazing brand. I'm going to share with you just a little bit more about like why I decided to come to Arbonne and like my journey with the company so far. And then my business partner Courtney, she will be sharing the same. Um, and then we'll just open it up for questions. So we might not actually go exactly in that order, but that will be the plan more or less. So if questions come up, definitely just know we'll make some time to get those answered for you all. But so I'll actually go ahead and start and I'll just tell you all a little bit about like why I joined Arbonne or my story with Arbonne. So I've been a part of the company or known of the company for about 2 years now. Courtney actually introduced me to the company and we met in yoga. So it was really great. That was just a few years ago, but it feels like so much longer than that, honestly.
You know,
Right.
yeah.
But yes, we met a few years ago. Courtney was telling me a little bit about just what she does, who she is. She invited me to an Arbonne event, and I was like, sure, that sounds great. She introduced me to like the skincare and talked to me a little bit more about all their various products. And at the time, I was like, yep, I think a skincare regimen sounds great for me because I was getting married in like 6 months. So I was like, yeah, I would love anything to look like my very best for the day. That was definitely like a priority for me, but hadn't really started looking and didn't know where to start. So Courtney ran into me at like the perfect time of my life, just for from like a product side. So started using the skincare, absolutely loved it. Started to see some really good results with like I have like a lot. I'm very expressive with my face, you might notice. So I get like the forehead lines, and then I also feel like I'm like of an offender of like the bags under my eyes. So started to see really good results, really enjoy those products. And we use those up through my wedding. And then post wedding, I came back and me and Courtney, we're touching base and probably it was probably a yoga or something that we were just talking, catching up. And it's like, oh, by the way, some of my friends and I are going to be doing like a 30-day cleanse. And I'm like, oh, like what does that entail? And it was something that I think was probably in the back of my mind of like, oh, I told myself right after we got married, I want to start having kids. And I'm like, yeah, actually, like this probably aligns. Like I'd love to get a little bit healthier as I'm starting to think about like delivering a baby into the world. So I was like, sure, that sounds great. I learned a little bit more from Courtney and signed up for what's like our best-selling product at Arbonne. It's like a 30 days to healthy living program. So just at a high level, essentially what that is there's a handful of core nutrition products that you'll use through Arbonne. But in addition to that, you have like a consultant to work with you. So for me, obviously that was Courtney, who like walks you through just like how to start changing health, like your food, like really just think about what you're putting in your body, how it affects your body. So a lot of education, support, and just accountability with Courtney on my side. And usually it wasn't just Courtney. I think it was like 6 or 7 of us that had done the cleanse. So we were really all like in it together, which was really nice. And definitely it was like my first exposure, I think, to like an Arbonne community of like that size of just doing something together and trying to exceed a common goal. So, but yeah, and then you get like recipes and all these great things. So that was amazing. I learned so much in those 30 days. Like couldn't even tell you. And after that, I was like, wow, like definitely for me, it ended up being like more of like a lifestyle change. So I did that 30 days, felt a lot better in a few different aspects of life, but just at a high level, like I was getting like headaches for months. Those had went away. I was having some stomach issues. I felt a lot better there. So just some like physical changes and then also some mental changes. And I think that was a result of like, yes, certainly what I was putting in my body, but then also just the people I was surrounding myself with because we all were working towards a common goal, which is really great. So I think I just had a change in my mindset during that 30 days too. So from there, it ended up being like a lifestyle change. And I don't think that was in like around January, February when I had done that cleanse. And then it was a few months later when Courtney, I attended another event that she invited me to. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'd love to like see my new friends that I've like made through Arbonne now. So I attended that event And I was like, yeah, I had heard about the business a couple times from Courtney at that point, and then something just in me just clicked. I'm like, this is where I want to be. Like, I literally am trying to plug into all these events, all these people. And what better way to do that than just to say yes to this business and try something new? Because I was already telling all my friends about the products I was using, about my experience with the 30 days to healthy living. I think at that point I had actually done like a second 30 days, and then really just to like reaffirm like the lifestyle choices I was making that I had learned from my first 30 days. So that's when I really started to join as like a business partner with Courtney. And so it's been a year since then that I've been a business partner with her. And just the amount I've learned, not just about myself, not just about wellness and nutrition, but just in like growing confidence and just how to be like a better overall human and like really just support myself and like all aspects of life. It's been an amazing journey, and just the people I've gotten to meet has been like absolutely amazing. Like Courtney's become really one of my closest friends now. Like we do so much life together even outside of Arbonne, which is just absolutely amazing. So it's been a really fun journey so far, and I'm learning a ton about business along the way. I never thought I would ever want to be an entrepreneur or even have my own business. And now I've built like all these aspirations and goals for myself as a result. And Arbonne's just one vehicle to really help me get there. So been really, really amazing. But with that being said, I'll kick it over to Courtney, share a little bit about her story.
Okay, Alex, that was awesome because there's so many points that I can relate to, but then obviously we're all very unique and different. So my story is very unique and different, but then there's so many points that are similar. So, yes, for those that don't know me, I'm Courtney Beth Anderson. I've been a consultant for over 5 years with Arbonne. It came into my life at an interesting time. I was 35, and a friend of mine had been going through breast cancer treatment, and her oncology team, a couple of people on the team, not the entire team, recommended this brand because it's a very safe ingredient brand. So it kind of is not seen the same in the traditional sense as far as medicine goes. And that's one of the interesting parts about just learning about ingredients and learning about what our options are. So, what she shared with me that I love to share with everyone, because I think if you go away with nothing, this is like one of the best things to know about what our options are out in the marketplace when it comes to ingredients. So she was sharing with me that when the FDA oversees the ingredients in the USA, and then the European Union oversees the ingredients in Europe, and the policy is very different. So in America, ingredients are made, like, just to give you an idea, over 2,000 ingredients are made every year and are just put out into the marketplace. So in America, the way that it works is all those ingredients, if they're found to be linked to enough disease and cancer, they'll be taken out of the market. So in America, there's 11 of those ingredients that are illegal to put into product marketing because manufacturing, because they are linked to disease and cancer. Where in Europe, they actually test ingredients before they're put into the marketplace. And if they're found to be linked to disease and cancer, they're not put into manufacturing. So it's very different. And there's over 1,400 ingredients that are banned and illegal to be used in product manufacturing in Europe. So Arbonne follows European standards and goes beyond. They have banned over 2,000 ingredients that are linked to any type of inflammation, harm, disease, and cancer. So my friend's telling me that her type of breast cancer is environmental toxin, and that's what those ingredients are. So that like blew my mind. I did not know any of that. So she knew that I was at a place in my career. So I've been a dental hygienist for 15 years. At that point, it was like year 9. And I was really just kind of, I didn't realize this, but hating my job and hating my life and hating who I was. I was really going through a lot of mental issues, mental health issues, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, a lot of feeling lost and not realizing like where my future was going. And she knew that I was actually like talking to my boyfriend, who's a business owner, about like doing something on my own. And she's like, there's a business opportunity with this brand and you should go take a look at it because a lot of healthcare people are really into it. I was like, I don't know. I just like, I just didn't have any kind of belief in myself to do anything really by myself. So I was scared, but I was curious. So I actually went to YouTube where so many of us go to like find out more information. And I did. I saw like all these like a bunch of, not like everyone, but healthcare workers. Like I saw a pharmacist, I saw another dental hygienist, a psychologist, like talking about the opportunity as another like offering to anyone that they know, but then also their own like complete transformation inside and out when it like what Alex is talking about, like internally health, but then also every relationship that they have was better. And I'm just like, I want what they have. And don't get me wrong, there's plenty of YouTube videos where people are bashing, you know, this and any kind of opportunity like this. But I didn't want to, I was already that kind of negative Nancy and I don't want to be that way anymore. So I'm like, all right, like I think I want to do this. I have no idea. So I talked to my boyfriend Joe and he's like, do it. Just do it. Don't overthink it. Just do it. And so, yeah, I'm like, as long as I have support and like people to show me what to do, like I'm gonna make this work. So yeah, then I had my own health transformation. I did the 30 days to healthy living like Alex was talking about. And my main issue was mental health, but I didn't realize like if for those who have any digestive issues, not that you have to get any benefits, but IBS was a big issue for me. But then I had like adult acne and I had headaches, same thing like Alex. I had just like no energy. I was like totally addicted to coffee, but then taking naps on my lunch hour. It was just like I just had a really unhealthy relationship with all of my food and all of my liquids, and I didn't realize how bad it was until I felt amazing without any of those issues. So yeah, I was like, I have no confidence back then. I have no confidence to talk to people, but at the same time, I feel literally like a changed person. And these people are so awesome and I love them and I just want to be like them. So I just started talking about it very organically. And yes, I met Alex at yoga. I was like, totally thought she would be in on the nutrition, but she went for skincare. And I'm like, cool. Like, however I can help someone, that's what I want to do. And it's like through the products, through the business opportunity, through the community, through the support, through the self-development, like this opportunity is a vehicle for so many different things. So I'll turn it back over to Alex so she can give you a little bit more on like the actual breakdown of Arbonne.
Yeah, thanks, Courtney. I always love hearing you talk about it. I mean, it's clear that we're like very passionate and you touched on like so many things I think are just good to like reiterate. So I always Courtney is like like Courtney is just like a health and wellness professional with like out all the fancy titles I'll say, but like really like you've been studying this for like years and years and you have so much knowledge and it's so fascinating to hear you talk. I always just want to like scribbling furiously. But something else I'll also say is like, you know, myself, like I mean Courtney's actually in that she didn't say this, but she has been in the health field, right? So actually as a dental hygienist. So she actually has been exposed to this world for years. Myself, I have not. So this is kind of like a newfound like interest that I'm like, wow, if I could go back in time and like study this in college, like this is what I would have done. But you know, like that's okay. Like I have the power and the choice to be like, wow, this is something I've decided I really am passionate about. And it definitely started with yoga. And now like Arbonne's this whole other avenue of like health and wellness that I'm so happy I've discovered. And so and I know that's not the same. Like, although there are a lot of peers at Arbonne within like the health and wellness field, there's also a lot that are like in business or financial advisors or like like a surprising amount of teachers or just people who are full-time moms. So there's a lot of different types of people in this business, which I think is also just super super cool and like amazing. Like we get to work with people with all different backgrounds, all different beliefs, all honestly, and like all different professions, and even like across the globe. Like we're in 6 countries, so that's also like a really neat opportunity. So like Courtney and I get to collaborate with people from Canada and a couple other areas as well, which is just really fun and amazing and something I do in my job now that I really appreciate that I have the opportunity to also do here at Arbonne. And so then another thing that Courtney you had mentioned was just talking a little bit about like what that looked like for you, like how you joined. And I think it's just good to like also speak to like some of the hesitations. Like I think in my case, like I was pretty eager to just dive in. Like I was like, oh, I was like sold. Like I saw the energy. I like I was just like lit up. Like I was like, I totally want to do this. But I obviously like it necessarily that didn't happen right away. It just clicked for me at like the right moment in the right time in my life. And I love how Courtney was just like, Joe, what her boyfriend? She's like, Joe, what do I do? I'm not sure. But like you took the leap even though you were really scared. So I know just with a lot of people, whether it be, just signing up as a client and making that change to your health, like, or just like saying, actually, wow, this business opportunity sounds like it could be really cool, maybe something I'm looking for, but there's those fears and hesitation. So let me just give you a little bit more about Arbonne and then maybe we'll dive into that. But so Arbonne has been around 40 over 40 years, I believe 44 years. So it's a very established company, which is amazing. Um, in terms of like the network marketing piece, sure, there's definitely people who came to Courtney and I and said, yeah, I don't really know. I haven't heard much about that business, or I haven't heard great things about that. But honestly, what I love so much about the networking marketing, like business model, is it one is like kind of genius. And two, it's just like setting you up for success with support. So you literally get to run this business. Like we are independent consultants and business owners, but we have all these tools and resources to be successful. So we have like marketing done for us. We have a website that's built for us. We have an abundance of peers literally that we meet with on a weekly basis to do trainings. There's online training. So you just have like endless mentors and digital resources to support you in this business, which for me felt very enticing, especially as someone who's looking to learn and just understand the space of like health and wellness more. To me, that was really, really exciting. And also, as someone who is really kind of starting to think, like, wow, maybe I could have my own business, that was also exciting. So I feel like when I came to Arbonne, I knew I was going to be learning more about health, more about wellness from the inside out, like all facets of health and wellness, not just nutrition, not just mindset, not just physical activity, like really everything. And then also, I was going to learn how to really own my own business and how to work my own business, which was like super exciting and like scary for sure because I always said I would never do that. But now I learned I just said that because I didn't think I could do it. But I'm like, wow, I can and I am, which is amazing. So, um, and just to Arbonne as a company, just some awesome things to know about why you should like why I trust them as a company and Courtney and really everyone who comes to Arbonne, like why we really believe it's one of the best companies in the world is they really focus on sustainability. They really are like a customer oriented company. They're B Corp certified. So if you don't know what that is, I'll just share that like 1% of companies out there are B Corp certified, and you go through like rigorous testing every year to re up that certification. Patagonia's B Corp, Tom's is B Corp. I love those brands. There's quite a few out there. There's a lot of food brands now that I shop that are also B Corp, which maybe I won't go into all of them, but you'll start to keep an eye out for them. They have like a little B and like a little circle, and that's how you know it's B Corp. And essentially what that means is they're not focused like just on profit. They're really focused on helping people, but then also just helping the planet, society, just all these different facets to say, hey, we're doing more here than just making money. We're really wanting to do this the right way. And then we're wanting to give back and contribute, which I think I like come from a family where like, and I've always been interested in like service and community and giving back. So I love that Arbonne does that. And actually, even in our roles as consultants, we have opportunities to be a part of that, which is absolutely amazing. And I aspire to have those opportunities to go on these like volunteer trips that I get to see some of my peers go on, which is just really, really cool. So just a couple things to know about the company. And then beyond just like them wanting to be amazing, like the best company in the world and having this like 40 plus years of experience, they do a ton of clinical studies on like all of their products. They go through like rigorous testing again because they're super customer obsessed. So I mean, really, when I first started using it, I was like, okay, great. Like these are clean ingredients. But really what also sold me was just the clinical studies. Like I was able just to go to the website and look at what I was buying and see the results that people were getting, like improved fine lines, like reduced fine lines, improved like glowing skin, like clinical studies. I'm like, well, okay, I'm kind of a data person. So for me, having that data really helped me earn trust with the company and say, okay, like I really have nothing to lose. And on top of that, if I didn't like the products, I had like 90 days to return them. So I was like, okay, like literally there's no reason why I shouldn't just give these a try. Um, and again, I obviously love the products because here I am. You can't tell like behind me, but I have like an array of just like products back there because I'm always like I feel like I'm running low actually, but it's just like my personal little stock. And that's not, and just so you know, from a business perspective, you don't have to have like your own stock of inventory. Literally, it's very simple. I just like I need my stock for myself personally. But in terms of like the business opportunity or just as like a client, like essentially you can kind of be a part of Arbonne in three ways. So The first way is just giving the products a try, which I highly recommend because you're probably already using facial stuff and body care. And maybe you're already using like an energy drink or a sport drink. Maybe you're already drinking protein. And if you are, then we have these cleaner swaps that honestly everybody loves. Like tastes really good. I was at an event yesterday. Everyone who tried my protein like, oh, this tastes so good. And they were like, oh, it's vegan too. Like, so they didn't expect it. I'm like, no, yeah, it's actually really good and it's really beneficial. And here's why. So the products taste really good. They work. Like clinically, they work. You will see the results if you try them. And if for whatever reason it's not a fit for you, again, you have that like 90-day back. So that'd be the first way, just to join as a client. And then you get a ton of extra discounts on top of it, which is great. A ton of promos. Arbonne just like loves to give things away, honestly, which is just amazing. So you definitely get your money's worth. And then the other way would be to join as a consultant like Courtney and I. And what's great about that is once you start using these products and you're going to fall in love with them, then you're just doing what you probably do already, right? Like referring these products and actually making a profit. So, I'm sure we all have like a favorite restaurant or, favorite hotel chain, airplane. Like literally people all the time are on Facebook saying, oh, I'm looking at these two cards. Which ones do I buy? And people are chiming in and saying, this is what I would do and why in my experience. Essentially, that's what you're doing, which is what you already do anyways. It's just for your skincare and your nutrition products. So just referring things you already love, which is easy. And then you can take, and that would be being a consultant essentially. And whether that's you referring it to a couple of people or to a lot of people that's totally up to you how often you want to work your business. And then you also have the opportunity to build a team if that's something you're passionate about. Definitely something that I'm really passionate about, that Courtney's really passionate about. I used to have the opportunity to be in management when I first started my corporate career like 10 plus years ago. And since then, I haven't really had that opportunity in like many years. And honestly, I miss that. Like, I miss having the opportunity to lead and grow a team because for me, that's super, super fulfilling. And I'm super excited to have that opportunity at Arbonne to help build a team of leaders, help them grow to be their best selves and like get into their best potential and just like see themselves do things that they didn't even think was possible. So that's like really exciting part about the business if that's something you're passionate about and if that's something you have a desire to do. So that's like a high level. I'm sure like Courtney, please chime in, but those are the things that really stick out to me about Arbonne and why I really said yes to not just the products but the business opportunity as well.
Alex, you covered so much goodness, truly. Like I I would just say that the one thing that really I would agree 100% on everything Alex said, but also I built this alongside my career. Like I have been like this opportunity, it's not this or that, it's this and that for a lot of people. For me, it got to the point where I really did only want to do Arbonne. All I want to do is be a part of Arbonne and share Arbonne. But then there's so many people who are looking to have this as their extra stream of income. We're hearing more and more that most families are wishing they could make anywhere between $100 or $500 a month extra. And that's what this business can be. But it can be so much more than that, where it can, bring you to the six and seven figures. And that's where I mean, some of our highest leaders do so much give back to the world, like working against things that we all really want to work against, like human trafficking. And like, it's just amazing the opportunities that we have to help our families, help people in need, and like all work together on being healthier. Like, health is wealth. And we like say that all the time in our team. So yeah, it's something that you can work alongside anything else that you're doing. If you're in college, if you work a career, if you have a busy life. And I'll just tell you, this business is made for busy people because lazy people aren't looking to do anything that we're talking about. So it is for busy people. And the other part that I think is awesome is we get to earn bonuses and trips. Like we get to visit different parts of the world by elevating people in their health and their wealth. Like it's such a cool, like there's so many neat opportunities in this. And it is a bit challenging to like give the whole picture. So yeah, this is a great overview. Alex, thank you. Truly. Like I'm just loving doing this with you. Truly, truly, truly. And thank you everyone for coming and like being open to learning about it because it's definitely something I didn't realize I needed in my life, and it's absolutely transformed who I am as a person, how I show up, and how I help everyone and anyone around me. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Courtney. Yes, I think the incentives are amazing, and those extra things you touched on are definitely noted. So yeah, I mean, definitely happy to open up for any questions from you all. Yeah, you might be right now thinking like, yeah, I definitely want to be a client and try the products out. Or you might be thinking, okay, yeah, like I actually do want to learn a little bit more about this business opportunity. So open to any and all questions.
Awesome. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
stop.
ladies.